I am joined by a football legend, Sunday Oliseh. 63 caps to his name with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Scored 3 goals in his career. Who better to talk to us than the legend himself? Sunday, welcome to NTV.
Thanks for having me.
You're in Kenya. This is not your first time, right?
No.
You have been in Kenya for now a week or so. How is Kenya treating you?
Oh, it's great. I'm eating well. I'm sleeping well when I can. And yeah, the people have been exceptional.
You've been on a clinic with a few players in Kenya, a few young talented players here and there. You were in Ligindogo yesterday. What do you make of the game here in Kenya?
It's very promising. We had 80 kids yesterday of different age groups. We had like 24, 23 coaches we worked with. And we just like tried to share, because like the principal objective here is to like promote the Bundesliga itself and to share the benefits that the league can bring to our continent in general, and then the Kenya in particular. And I think that's I saw very talented players. There was a particular group of players that had one of the former coaches of national team here, and they really blew me up.
Kenya has talent. We have one of our own, Victor Wanyama, who is also the Harambee Stars captain. Yeah. You know him. You've seen him playing with Tottenham. He started with in Scotland, Southampton. He's now with Tottenham. What do you make of him?
Strong player. Strong player. And I personally like him because he has this attitude like, you wouldn't stop me from getting through. I will do what I have to do. And well, fits into a bit into what I used to do in those days. It's promising. But if I may add, I think it's promising, but Kenya has to act on it.
You have captained the Nigerian team. You've played with the Nigerian team for a while, retired when you were 31. Yeah. Had caps with it, 63 caps, 3 goals to your name. Won titles, Olympic 1996, 1994 World Cup, 1994 Africa Cup of Nations. What do you make of the Nigerian team when you were with it?
When we were there, you see, I believe honestly that every nation is blessed at one time. In a period of 100 years, you're blessed with a special generation. And I feel blessed. When I came into the limelight with my own qualities as a player, I had also very talented teammates to make it explode. We were very good. We were explosive when we came up front. We were strong to defend. And we had a never die attitude. And we had players that were really hungry. Not hungry for finance or money, but hungry to make a name for their parents, the family, and pioneers. I feel very great. Like one of my colleagues is part of this promotional tour. That's JJ Okocha, who's also he doesn't need an introduction. So, but that's how it is. We're trying to like give back in our way to guide our people. This is the right way to follow if we want to progress.
A good tip that was in 1994, but what was your best squad in your career? Nigerian squad.
The best Nigerian squad. The world is talking about 94, but I am more, because I was part of all of it. I think the one where we were really, really unpredictable was the 96 set. That won we won the Olympics gold, beating people like Ronaldo, Rivaldo on the way up there. We beat Mexico, Argentina, Japan, and Brazil. And so that was the best squad because technically exceptional. Mental-wise, because we won most of the games, the last 20 minutes of the games, very solid. And a passion-driven team.
Talking of passion, 1994 squad. We also cannot stop not talking of 1994. You played in the final against Italy. In the final of the World Cup in 1994.
Yeah.
It was a tough final. Africa knew that you were holding this for us.
Yeah.
Everybody behind you. What happened? Quite an emotional one, that was.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you the privilege of addressing this for the first time in a detailed manner. We were not ready. Not the players, but I think from the team behind the team, we were not ready. And Arrigo Sacchi summed it all up when he said, we were 10 men, and they couldn't break us. And what I mean we're not ready is that football is no longer just individual talents. It gets to a point where you also need a very tactical coach to look at it and say, okay, this is this, we change this, we do this, I'm reading it like this and that. And we didn't have that then. We had good coaches in people like Westerhoff and Bonfrejo, but they were good for our level of the African scene because evidently I love these guys, you know. But since we are trying to get our country to progress, it's time, if we're going to get foreign input, we have to get the real quality, people that are performing already in Europe, not people who can't find performance, you know. Because you can see that after Clemens Westerhoff left Nigeria, he was not able to have success anywhere else because we had exceptional players in Nigeria.
Talking of exceptional players, you are one of the players, you have something moving on. You're an ambassador with the Bundesliga as well, StarTimes as well. We have other players, JJ Okocha is also an ambassador. We have one of your players also coaching another team. What happens to players once they don't 31? We have Rashid Yakini. He died a poor man. What is all this? Once you're done with your career, you have nothing to count for?
Well, I will start with the last one first, Rashid Yakini. I'll personally give tribute to this man because I played with great world strikers all through my life. I had the likes of Del Piero, Inzaghi. We had the likes of, you know, exceptional strikers. You know, I played with Zidane and all of them. But Yakini, he's the best striker I ever played with.
37 goals to his name.
He's the best striker I ever played with. Because all I had to do, because people were saying, yeah, they gave me the name, the pass master, because I used to give passes and he was scoring. All I had to do was just put the ball in his running path. All he had, then you just look at the net, because it's going to shake. The man will hit it in. So that is the grateful thing. But as regards coming back to our retirement and how we get it on, my advice to young people is this. As a soccer player, when you're active, you get a lot of lazy time. When I say lazy time, I mean when you're not training, you are tired because physically you train, but at the head, most of us watch television and play games and all that. That is the time to prepare after football. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. My father put that in my family. So even when I couldn't study, I was also reading via syllabus, economics books and, you know, political books at home, you know, subscribe to Time magazine, you know, and all those things like kept me abreast. And I saw how successful players manage their career after football. So what I did personally was, the moment I stopped, I enrolled into education. I got myself a business management degree in Belgium. I did it, it was a fast course in the night. You know, we did that. And after that also, I also did 3 years coaching license. So it took a long time and it was very expensive, I understand. But I was trying to get myself, you know, to be, as regards credibility and the ability to stand up to anybody in the world and say, look, I know what I'm talking about because I played it and I also studied it. You know, that way I don't get second fiddle to anybody because I must be blunt. As an African, if you want to make it in the world, you don't have to be at the level of the other people in the world. You have to try, aspire to be above it because nobody will employ you if you're at the same level. So I will encourage people and our people in Africa, study. You can study, everybody can study like I did, or I can understand, but at the same time also, try to educate yourself. Education is not only from the school. Sometimes education comes from your parents. Yeah. How do I manage my money? Sure. You know, like my grandfather used to tell us, if you want to be a rich man, you're paid January salary. When you receive the salary from February, it should meet the January salary. That means don't be broke when the February salary comes. And it says you're a rich man if the January salary can meet up with the one from March. You know, they're old, so they didn't know how to analyze, you know. That was the past then. So that was something we learned with, and we made our lives out of it.
You made your life out of it, but currently we have players as young as 18 starting to play professional football. Yeah. They make good money abroad, out of Africa, but then they end up squandering a lot of money, wasting their lives, and come back, nothing to count for.
Don't blame the players.
Who is to blame?
Don't blame the players. I must be honest. As a soccer player, you just rightfully said it, the man starts at a very young age. When you start at a very young age, you're not educated in financial management. You agree? You have been intellectual, gone to school, university, or what you did, you know how to manage it. But our education is this, how to control this, how to manipulate it. So you also, as a player, you need help. That's where the parents come in. That's where the entourage comes in. But most of the players go abroad with a manager whose main aim is to sell and buy players, so to make money. He's not interested in helping the young man make a life after football. He's more interested in enriching his own managerial agency. So these players are not guided and sometimes even push into contracts that don't make them well. But my advice to those players is this. If you don't get anybody to manage you, you don't get rich only from what you earn, how much you earn. You get rich in what I've seen around the world. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm happy I can feed myself and my kids. You get rich from how much you save. That is how I believe.
Moving forward, we have teams coming up, young teams playing in professional standards, coming up, playing up to better leagues, winning titles. Africa, we've won under 23 titles. Nigeria, one of them, your home country. But then what happens afterwards? Because looking at it, maybe like in 1996, the team that won the Olympics, we knew that they were going to bring us forward, come maybe win it in 2004 World Cup. Nowhere to count for. What happens after winning young titles under 20s and all, moving forward?
Yeah, but that's where I come back to the issue of you need a team behind the team. You see, when you're playing at the youth level, the individual talent, like we worked out with the kids yesterday, there's a level you're playing at. Your victories are based around individual talents, how good they are to outmaneuver the other at a certain age grade. But when you go over the age grade, it becomes business. It becomes management. And it becomes a sense whereby it is now tactical. And when you hear the word tactical, it's a big word for people. Tactical, when someone is tactical, you know what it means? The man just plans. The tactics you bring to the game is the plan you brought to the game. But when we use a big word like we went to school, tactical now, it's plan. What plan did you bring to outwit, outsmart your opponents? And that's where we're lacking back home in Africa here. And that's where the Europeans are meticulous about it. We want to go to a World Cup 2000, I'll give you an example, 2022. We start preparing by 2013, right? Now, how do the Germans, the Spanish, and the ones who win it, how do they prepare? Will you believe me that for the 2022 World Cup, the Spanish are already preparing now, looking at the players from this squad, which of them will be too old to play in 22? And they're already looking at who's going to replace this man, because in 2021, this man is going to be 36. So he's not going to be there anymore. I'll give an example, Iniesta. The Spanish are combing their heads now. How do we find a replacement for Iniesta? Because he's probably the best midfielder on earth. So, but this things, Africa, we start preparing 2014, 2013. Now, how do you want to beat a man, even if you have the same level of knowledge and talent? How do you want to beat a man who started preparing 8 years ago, and you just started preparing 1 year? God is for everybody, no? So you pray and God is also looking. This man worked out, you not. How should I give you?
But then there's a mentality that Africa is yet not ready to win the World Cup.
We are ready.
How then can we win it if we only host it probably? We've hosted it once. Moving forward.
This hosting is overrated, man. The Germans went to win the World Cup in Brazil, where no European nation has ever done. And it's overrated. And personally, I think when you host a tournament, the pressure is unbelievable. And you don't prepare well because you don't go through the rigors of the qualification like the others, So it's overrated. But when I say we are ready to it, we have the talent for it. Now, what is left for us is, we're just like a beautiful woman, right? The bone is there, but the skin makes the difference.
True.
We're lacking that skin. And we're lacking the nose and that's what we're lacking. And who's going to give that to us? That's not the players to give.
We have a chance in 2022 as well.
Yeah.
We are taking in 5 teams. I hear there may be changes before then. But then before then, what should we do ahead of that?
The first thing we should start to do is that, I'll give you an example. Kenya, you want to go to the World Cup, right? You want to go to 2022. Start preparing now. Decide as a nation what kind of football you want to play. I think from what I've been seeing, you have not decided yet. You don't know if you want to play the possession football, you want to play the direct football, you want to play the mixed football, you want to play the pressing football, you don't know it yet. The moment you sit down together with your federation and tacticians, that's why I keep aspiring. A footballer cannot really manage. We need FA heads that are businessmen. But when it comes to picking a sports director for a nation, picking a coach for a nation, picking of tactical analysts for a nation, there you need ex-footballers. But then you also have to educate them. Because the first thing I realized going to a coaching class is it is a total different world from being a footballer. Coaching is totally different from football. So if you want to go to the World Cup, start preparing now. And don't be bothered if you don't qualify for 2018, because your ambition is 2022. So that is how it works.
You've played in Germany, Borussia Dortmund, you've played in Cologne, Bochum as well. You've played in Italy, Juventus, as well as Ajax. The issue of racism, has it been affecting you? Because we know a few players who've been affected by them. How did you manage to check on that?
Well, the thing there is that you will get it, you know. I had it a lot all through my career, and I was able to manage it until once, and I broke once. That was when I was in Bochum, when I couldn't take the racist something, and I reacted. Okay. But then again, like I say, if my son did that when he came home, I will shake him, and I will congratulate him, you know. But the point I'm going to give you for that racism is this: don't make it your problem. Let it be the racist man's problem.
As we finish, you're an ambassador with the Bundesliga. Germany, we have Leipzig giving Bayern Munich a competition. Who do you think will win this as we finish that?
Are you asking my mind or my head?
Both.
Well, my head tells me Bayern will manage it better because financially and as regards managerial, you know, structures, they are better. But when you're talking of my heart, I prefer Leipzig to win it. They are fresh, young, and it's something new.
They may be the Leicester of Germany.
I already blogged about it. I call them already the Leicester of world football.
All right. You played for Borussia Dortmund. I'm a fan of Borussia Dortmund.
Oh, finally.
Not Bayern.
Finally a smart one.
So if you sign this for me, please.
Okay.
As we finish.
Why don't you show it to our people so they see?
It's a Borussia Dortmund jersey.
Probably one of the best clubs in Germany, maybe.
Started in 1909. Just a quick one as we sum it up.
Okay.
That has been the legend himself, Sunday Oliseh, telling us of his career. It was fun having you.
Thanks, my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
My pleasure. Pleasure you go.